Good morning and good afternoon. Happy day before Christmas Eve. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd, and today was another really good day. Green Day recap here. A lot of good opportunities today. The market is still very much so hot, and we're going to break down every entry from this morning. That way you know exactly how I did it all step by step. Now, today was really good. Now, gappers were a little bit slimmer this morning, which we're expecting, of course, going into the holidays. We're expecting a little bit less opportunity, and that's okay. That's to be expected. People are out of town, they're on vacation. Step away from the markets till after Christmas, after New Year's, and so that's expected. So this morning we came in and I was actually watching quite a few stocks. And I was watching, as you can see here, HIHO, which is my favorite, TRIB, my second favorite. Then we have PCLA, AIRE, and JTAI. Now, I traded most of these this morning, actually. I traded HIHO, I traded PCLA, I traded JTAI. Now, I didn't trade AIRE or TRIB because they didn't meet criteria. As you can see, both of these were to be watched over 63 on this one and over 2 on this one. Neither of them broke today, so I only traded the ones that did break and, of course, meet that criteria, which were these three. So the big one today was HIHO, and it was my favorite one going into market open. It really reminded me of what we had yesterday on HXHX. You got to think the ticker's almost identical. HIHO. They're both the Chinese Hong Kong names, and so this just looked really good. And of course, we knew based on the daily time frame here on HIHO that we had range here to about $2 a share. As you can see here, we had range to about 2. Look at this. Let me change colors so you can actually see it. So it ranged here to about $2 a share these past daily highs once we got over the 50 moving average. And so this looked really nice. We had room, of course, once you got the break here over the 50 moving average, which sat right here at $1.35, I knew we had range to the 200 sitting at 160. And then I knew if we got over the 200 moving average over 160, we had room to 2. Okay, easy enough. So knowing that we had that 160 there that was so key, can we go ahead and mark up that 160, knowing that it's the 200 moving average. And then past that, of course, we had the break of that 117, which was the 20 moving average, which had to hold today. Sort of get these play areas, right? So I knew I had to play it over 117, and then I had range to, about 160, then over 160, room to 2. So I was able to play this quite well. So going in the market open, let's break this all down here. We had these lower highs going into the bell, and it didn't look halfway bad. Look at this. So you had this lower high, drag it on into the open there, and I was able to play the breakout trend there out of the bell. And so I get that break at the open. Of course, I'm playing the breakout because I can't play a flush here, which I was watching this down here too, but I, of course, didn't play it because you're underneath the EMAs. You are underneath VWAP, and so left it alone. But here on this, we got the break of trend. I saw it pull back off of VWAP, and I took the exact same entry here that I took yesterday on HX. Now, I didn't get the same resolution. I did catch some nice wins, but it was not the same to the degree of yesterday. So first entry here, they would play quite well. It did a simple little break of VWAP. After it broke VWAP and confirmed the break of trend, I took it there at 143 with the stop loss sitting here at these lows off 138. So about 5 cents of risk. Got to move back up to 150. Able to take full profit there. Then it knifes down to the lows. Then it pops back. Look at that. This literally knifed from $1.50 all the way down to $1.23. So talk about a Chinese stock. Then pops back from 123 all the way back up to 154. I'm like, dude, what is going on here? And so from there, I'm again waiting for confirmation. It pulls back again. Look at this. So after it reclaims and it pops back up into the highs, it pulls back and finds a buyer again off the 50 moving average right here. So I take a re-entry to see if we couldn't get this leg back up higher. And it tries to go. I'm able to make it risk-free. And so for my entry here at 144, we know that we have overhead supply sitting here up into this next high. So I'm expecting sellers to be there. And so I'm selling a half here at 148 from a 143 entry to make it risk-free. Then I raise my stops to break even and I take a break and take a small win. So that's the second trade, was a small win. Then I come back, look at this. Price pulls back off this past low, finds a good buyer there, but again, I can't play it there because you're beneath the EMAs and beneath VWAP, so wait for the reclaim. As price reclaims, we can then expect to find sellers here again, but we can also expect to find buyers here based on that past price action. So, again, played it there on the reclaim. Look at this. Price breaks above, and it slowly pulls back off of VWAP here over that 140 area, which is also, look at this, it also reclaims the moving averages here as well. So it gets back above the 9, 20, and 50 moving average and over VWAP. I take the pullback entry, risking off of this past low, which we used earlier, for again about 5 cents a share of risk. And I just was looking to take profit up into these highs because we knew we had supply sitting overhead based on this pre-market action, which again would have created this area of supply overhead, boom, just like that. So from the entry there on the pullback to VWAP, took it up into overhead supply, took a full profit up here. Trying to get some added back here for a quick break up to the highs. Took a break-even trade here because it didn't really, for a second, I left some money on the table. My concern there was we were rejecting out of supply, and I don't want to take an entry up into supply, so I just took a break-even and the actual proper pivot through the highs, which you'll see is the next trade here for another win. And so as it gets to pivot over these highs here, look at this. You break up higher, and I take small size on this. Yeah, took some size out. That way I only had pretty much lotto size. Because at this point of the morning, and you'll see the other stocks that I traded throughout the morning too, I had all the profit from here and here. I just didn't want to give it back today. Tomorrow's Christmas. You just keep it sweet, keep it nice. So it's breaking out here over the highs. It pulls back. I take the entry out in the pullback candle, risking off this past area of supply. And so stop loss goes here off this 5-day, off the 90 MA, looking to see if this wants to get continuing higher. And it does. We get a pretty big pop here. Actually, it happened almost instantaneously. It sort of puts in place a bottom here and pops from 167 all the way to the 180s, 190s, instantly. So I'm actually able to take a win here from 168 to the 190s. And the reason why I took a full profit is we knew we had this $2 resistance. And so as it put in place this topping tail, and as I saw it come back to retest and it struggle, I went ahead and took a full profit here on this candle. You can see it puts in place this double top off the high. Big wick here, comes up to retest the high again and rejects again. That was my full take profit, as you can see off this candle. So able to play this really well. I have, 4 trades on this today, all for profit, and pretty happy with it. Aside from that, had JTAI, which this was also pretty good. You can see we have this first gap up. You have this sort of, setup get breaking. Almost cup and handle setup here. Look at this. And it gets breaking over the highs here. Look at this. It pulls, it's just massive pop, drops, then gets squeezing over the highs with volume, mind you. Actually has volume. There wasn't much volume here, but it gets squeezing with volume over the high of day, so I'm watching for those pullbacks to hold for the leg higher. And so going in the market open, I take a little bit of a flush there, risking off this past low to see if we couldn't get this to really get squeezing. And I have some profit here today. I played it here from 158 to about 163. Not much to write home about, but yeah, not much there. Not much there. After I saw it reject off the highs, just raised my stops, and that was it. Then I had PCLA. This one was actually really, really good for me. The only issue with this one today is I was undersized out the butt. The penny stocks sometimes I hate because sometimes I forget to put an extra zero, and then I'm in here with extremely small size. So annoying. But anyways, lower highs going into market open, of course, stacked off this flat bottom. It has to break out of this channel here. And of course, we also knew on the daily time frame, there really wasn't much range here because we also had, look at here on the high of day from pre-market, which we had sitting here at about 24 cents. So this one was a bit tricky because you can't take the break of trend because you have no range underneath the high from pre-market. So you have to wait for the break of that high from pre-market. So anyways, it breaks the highs from pre-market. And I wait for the pullback off the 90 MA because right now it's so extended here, you have to wait. So price consolidates enough to bring the 90 MA closer to share price. That way we can look for that extension higher. And as soon as it pulled back, I nailed my entry there. Literally could not have asked for better entry. That's why I'm so mad about my lack of size in this. It's so frustrating. But anyways. And so, solid entry. Risking off the course off this previous high of day for the extension higher. I'm able to play it there pretty well from, as you can see, 25.50 to about 29s. So that was all fun and games. And then to wrap the morning up, we had ASTI, which thankfully I cut when I did. Look at this. I tried to take it here. We had this ascending channel put in place. And I tried to, look at this, I was going to take it here, and I did with small size. But then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, you kind of structure off the highs here because it halted up, then gapped down. That structure is kind of flipped. See, the same thing happened here, though. Sort of looking for a similar move, but I saw the actual volume out of that halt was far different. The actual structure of the stock was far different. And so I cut it. But it pretty much made the same move, or what I was looking for was the same move that happened here. But thankfully, I understood that I was taking a bad setup, and as you can see, took a break-even trade. I think I made $3 on this. Literally sold it almost instantly. So saved myself there. That would have given back some profit, but thankfully did not allow it to. So one of those things, when it starts to invalidate, just go ahead and cut. You can see sort of what stood out to me here is, look at this. I'm trying to take this for the breakup higher. This candle tries to break higher, instantly shoots back down beneath this last candle's high. That's my sign for an exit. So thankfully respected my gut, respected my plan, and respected my rules on that one. So that pretty much sums up the morning recap. Had a really, really good day today, though. I'm extremely happy with it. Honestly, I would have done nothing differently today. Another green day to walk into the holidays. Of course, I will be trading tomorrow again, so make sure to join the 7-day free trial to come trade with me tomorrow in real time, as always. Today was another awesome day, though. As always, make sure to subscribe for daily content just like this if you did learn a thing or two. And, of course, make sure to claim your 7-day free trial to watch me trade with me on stocks like this in real time every single day and get alerts, education, chat room access, watch list, our journaling app, our Momentum AI, and so much more. And that being said, I will catch you there tomorrow morning for an awesome day in the markets. Again, if I don't see you back tomorrow and you are busy for the holidays, have a blessed holiday week. Have a blessed little time away for a couple days until you get refreshed back next week. And like I said, I'll be trading tomorrow, though, so hopefully I see you there for an awesome way to end. Or I guess we still trade Friday, too. So an awesome way to go into Christmas the next day. So, yeah, I'll see you back tomorrow. Let me know in the comments below how you did today, and I will see you back then.